Hey friends, so I thought I'd make a quick video on how to manage our notifications in Mac OS. The reason is, talking to a lot of all y'all, great people, we're getting into a point of the school year where we're kind of feeling a little stressed out, really busy, and that's totally understandable. So here are some kind of tips that I've picked up over my years as a student, and also just kind of researching both like maintaining mental health in education and also best use for education technology. So our computers and phones and tablets, they're designed to both help us do what we want to, but they also are designed to keep us kind of distracted and kind of almost like too focused on, I don't want to say addicted per se, but kind of prompted to consistently look at them again and again and again throughout the day. Um, so it means that like how the notifications are designed, both like how they look, how they move, and how they sound, these are things to kind of catch our attention, which is good in some ways and largely in it's bad because it happens a lot. Imagine basically a notification is the same as like an actual person contacting you or calling you or talking to you in a different way. And while that's cool, sometimes you need to balance like how much any individual person is kind of catching your attention. Okay, so this is easy to do, really easy to do. Go to the system preferences icon in your dock and then go over here to notifications, click on it, and then you'll see by default actually each application has all of the notifications set on. So again, like these are, all different kinds of applications. Do you need to be prompted by each one of these, or can we turn as many of them off as possible so that we can protect our mental focus and like reduce our feelings of stress and anxiety? So, all right, let's take an example here. Books, the application for books. Right now, it'll send an alert, which is the kind of notification where it'll sit on the right hand side of your screen and like not go away until you click on it. It's very persistent, we say. Um, do we really need to do that when we're dealing with books? I would argue no. And then you can see there's all these different options here that I'll go through. So this application will also show you a notification on your lock screen. So when you log into your computer or to pick up your phone, you'll see something from books if or when it's advertising something to you or downloaded something or anything like that. The notification right now, when it says preview, it means you can read it even when the device is locked. As a student, I generally recommend that you turn that off just so people can't read your stuff. Okay, when you walk away from it or leave it somewhere. Um, It'll also show up in the notification center, which is basically the place that when you swipe up on your phone or tablet or from the side on your computer, it's just that list of kind of widgets and notifications. Um, if you must have a notification from an application, I generally would advise to leave it in the notification center because you can hide it and keep it out of view until you swipe up and look for it. And so it's a nice balance between being prompted and kind of distracted by the application, but also getting the notification that will actually help you. Okay, badge icon. This is where it'll show a number for the amount of new or unread things. While that seems fairly basic and like innocuous, it still encourages you quite strongly actually to look at the application. So it's something that Facebook developed, and when there's a number sitting next to an icon, it gives you just enough like unknown or mystery where your brain wants you to kind of keep checking it and keep checking it. Okay, so I would advise turning this stuff off. And then last but not least, definitely I would recommend for literally all applications, turn off the sound. The reason is it's very distracting. both to you and to anyone like kind of in the vicinity. And then it also doesn't tell you specific information, and that's why it's a bad notification. So, you just hear a sound. You don't know if it's a sound for books. You don't know if it's a sound for games. You don't know if it's a sound for whatever app it is. You just hear the same kind of noise, ding, or whatever sound you chose in your settings. It doesn't give you actionable information right away, and so it really just serves to bring you back to the device, off task, from whatever you were trying to do. Okay, so really, I would recommend turning off the sound for literally everything. Now, also, honestly, I would advise you go through the list and you just turn off as many notifications as humanly possible. Like, so for everything that you don't need notifications, just set it to just everything's off. Like, this entire application cannot send me notices. Now, you notice that the two that I left on were calendar and reminder. Some of us use calendar to kind of know when we're doing what and when. When you're starting out, of course, do the things that work for you to keep your busy schedule. But I would advise, again, try to set up a system where you're not having the computer or phone tell you what to do kind of throughout your day, because it's almost like having your mom or like a boss over your shoulder say, now do this, now do this, now do this. And again, it kind of wears down on your sense of agency and increases your sense of kind of stress and anxiety. So for now, kind of starting out, like managing our craziness and our schedule, banners are fine. They'll kind of scoot across the screen and then they'll disappear after a certain amount of time. You decide if you want to be able to see it on your lock screen or not. Again, some of us do, some of us don't. And then again, we're going to turn off the sound and we're going to turn off the badge icon, because these things don't tell us anything we need to know in order to take action on the notification. Okay. So then with reminders, again, the whole app's job is to remind you to do things. Give it some permissions, I would advise, but again, turn off the ones that don't really help you immediately take action when you're prompted. Okay, just being distracted or just being prompted doesn't help you. Okay, so I hope this helps. I again advise turn off as many notifications as possible and make adjustments as needed so that you have the workflow, meaning the ability to do your work in the way that is helpful for you. One thing I did want to mention here, mail is something that I get a lot of questions about. I would advise that it stays off and that you just schedule into your day times to check your email. There's a lot of good reasons for this. The top two are there are tons of emails coming at any time, so trying to fit your work around the email coming in randomly it's just going to leave you with no downtime to work. And then two is email is like a low focus thing, and we need to protect our focus time. We've got about 2 or 3, each person's got about 2 or 3 hours of like kind of good focused work in them every day, and then the rest of the hours are kind of just low focus, low mental energy work, which again, we have to do some of it, but don't use your high focus times for email. Okay, schedule like 10 minutes in the morning, 20 minutes in the afternoon, and maybe 10 minutes at night to check your email, just so you know what's going on and you're reading things. But beyond that, you don't give email more than like a maximum of like 20 to 40 minutes a day, and even that's quite a lot. Okay, so hope that's really helpful for y'all, and best of luck to all y'all.